Welcome back to my YouTube channel. On this tutorial, we'll be talking about CSS. In the previous video, we discussed about HTML and talk about the tags and few things that can make us have a basic web page. So, and as we know, CSS is the beauty of the web page, right? Now, first day one, we talk about the HTML, we talk about the CSS, beautifying the structure of our web page. So right now, what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It controls the presentation of HTML on our web page, right? Which involves the layout, the colors, the font, and space. All these things are CSS properties. When we talk about CSS, we're talking about the visual appearance of your web page. We're talking about the user friendly of your web page. Now, how do we make use of CSS? We have CSS syntax. All right, CSS syntax is in terms of we having our selector, right, and this curly brackets, right, and inside the curly brackets we have our property and we have the value. All right, so now selector, properties, value, we get to them very soon. But basically, know that when we talk about CSS, we're talking about the selector, right, and the property. So when you talk about selector, basically is more like you are kind of selecting a particular element that you want to style. All right, and now when you select the element you want to style, straight you want to have the property. The property is more like what is the behavior you want this element to have. Now, the moment you know the behavior or the behavior you want the element to have, or how you want the element to behave, right, then you want to be able to give you the value. Okay, should this element behave in a normal way, or the other way around, something like that. That's the rate of the behavior is the value. All right, let's put it that way. So now we have three types of CSS. Okay, we have the one we call inline CSS, we have the one we call internal CSS, and we have the one we call external CSS. So these are the three CSS we have, no more than three. All right, and these three CSS, they are all important, but it just depends on where you find yourself. That you want to be able to know which of these to use. All right, but basically, going forward, we will let you know the best one to use, or even you'll be able to figure out the best one to use by yourself without me telling you. Believe me, right? Because you want to work smart, right? So yeah, so for these three CSS, you have to get familiar with them. You can use them. All right, so yeah, so and we actually used one before. All right, the last video we did, we talked about style, and if you notice, particularly here, we render the style. This is attribute, we know, right? Any kind of any text that we put inside our tag, right, inside the opening tag, that particular text is called attribute. For example, we have the source here is an attribute, we have alt here is an attribute, we have width here the attribute, we have style the attribute. So now back to CSS. All right, so now here we call on style, which we say is equals to in quotes border radius to be 50%. Now this is the property, okay, and this is the value. But where is the selector? The selector is this particular element image. Now with this particular one that we have here, this is inline CSS, is written in an element style attribute. That is it. This is a good example of inline. So this should be very simple to us, right? Because we've used it in our previous video. So just get straight. This is inline. Okay. Now moving forward, we have internal CSS. Now, how do we achieve internal? The way it sounds, it tells you that is an internal, like it's inside, right? So now, which inside, like which part of the inside is it going to be, right? Now, we always have it inside the head, right? Remember I told you that head is the engine of the web page, right? So we have the internal CSS inside the head, and it's also an element in terms of color style. So this is inline. You just declare that you want to render CSS here by you opening the CSS tag and you closing the CSS tag. So anything you have inside this place should be of CSS. Having a proper internal CSS rendered now, remember we talked about the selector, the property, and the value. So basically, here I can just say you have h1, you have paragraph. I can simply call this selector. Now, how come this is a selector? We have many type of selector. We have a lot of them. Right. This selector is called element selector. Right. Because this is an element. Remember, right? A tag or an element, right? So we call it element selector. Okay. We have CSS selector. We have ID selector. We have universal selector. But don't let us rush it, right? Let's just take it step by step. This particular tag or any tag that you come across that you know, you can style them by calling the tag name itself, all right, which is element selector. Okay, so right now I want to start my h1. I can simply just say h1, having the curly bracket open, and now I want to put my property and the value. Let's talk about color. So here I want to say color. Now I'm going to use a column to separate the property from the value. Now with the color, you can say, we have a lot of colors here, lots of colors, right? Let us pick dark red. Okay, I have dark red. So let's save and see the results. Okay, so now looking at it here now, we have it in a different way, right? Before, color is black by default. Now we have a dark red, right? Is it dark red? Yeah, now we have a dark red as a color.